Okay, guys, I've been hearing a lot about the Elder Scrolls 6, so I thought I'd chime in with my thoughts about this. Let's not get too carried away and remember who Bethesda really is. They're the ones that made Starfield. Let's keep that in mind. And let's stay grounded in the truth, right? Okay. Um, People are, especially people like Maddie Plays and stuff like that, right? What they like to do is they like to um, get people's juices going, right? And that sort of thing, right? And get you excited about something. Best thing to do is wait and see, okay? Asha Sharma recently quoted she played it, looks great, has tons of things to do, but she's not a gamer, guys. Keep in mind, she's not a gamer, okay? All right? She doesn't play games like we do. She doesn't sit down like we do. She doesn't play the Elder Scrolls series like we do, right? What she's doing is building up the hype, right? And then she left 8 characters there for people to guess at the title, teasing. And I can honestly say the best thing to do is to be grounded in the truth, right? And I'm not going to speculate, I'm not going to say anything like that because I think those kind of videos are a waste of time. The stuff like Maddie Plays and other people like that do that kind of stuff. I'm not picking on the guy. He's just the only person I know offhand, that does cover Elder Scrolls, and it's fair game. He does cover Elder Scrolls like crazy. But the thing is like I think they overdo it. They overthink it. They overanalyze it because they get the clicks. The thing you need to do as a gamer is wait for it to come out. Don't pre-order it, wait to see, and then go to MK Ice and Fire is the channel I go to, right? And watch gameplay of it because that person gets it early. They don't talk about it at all, and they just show gameplay of it so that you get the whole gameplay. And then you can decide for yourself if it's worth buying or not, right? And that's what I do from now on. Like, when it comes to anything that I might be interested in or that, I go to MK Ice and Fire, I watch gameplay of it, I did this with The Last of Us Part 2 when I heard the whole controversy about Joe and how it was woke and all that other kind of stuff, the trans character and that sort of thing. And I was just like, yeah, I didn't like what was going on with that. Like, so then I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to buy that. And that was because I went to that channel. So I would advise you to do the same thing, to look into that like that, you know what I mean? With that kind of mentality. Because the reason I didn't buy Starfield is that it had forced pronouns. That turned me away from it right off the bat. That one guy from the UK, he blasted him about that too, right? And that's the other thing too. Like, if you don't want that kind of stuff in your game, then that might be a thing for you to just wait and see too. Remember who Bethesda is. I mean, these people, they come out and they say, my pronouns are, and that's the very first thing that they say, that that's not a good sign, right? And when they hire people like that, um, what happens is that they make the games like that, right? And then that's why a lot of people have been fired now. So I think that was a good move on that part of it, and that had to do with the Halo game, right? They don't make good games. They make games for themselves, right? That they want to play instead of making games for the gamer that the gamer wants to play. And everybody's sick and tired of the woke nonsense, and they're sick and tired of the alphabet soup, and they're just like, no, I don't want anything to do with that kind of stuff. So you guys keep putting that stuff into this, then we're not going to buy it. And that's the truth. The gamers are speaking up like crazy. This is why they're losing a ton of money, right? So in the end, when it comes to Elder Scrolls 6, don't get excited because it's still Bethesda, right? Don't let Asha Sharma or channels like Maddie Plays and stuff like that, anyone who is pimping it, because a lot of channels are talking about it, right? Okay. They might have the name right for it and that because I do believe Asha Sharma came up with that. But that's it. All you got is a screen that was teased like what, 8 years ago or something. So that insane. And then now you get this right from Asha Sharma. And she's like, oh, it's coming along great. I went to a live play and everything. It was fantastic. And well, of course she's going to say stuff like that. She's there to sell it, right? So, but that doesn't mean that, she played a lot of it or anything like that, right? She went to a live stream, right? That could mean anything. She could have watched it and then went, oh, wow, that looks cool. You know what I mean? And in her opinion, but she's not a gamer. Yeah, she's got a thing there where she has gamer score and that, but I can bet you that that's not her playing it, right? She's got someone playing that account, to make it look like she's a gamer. You know what I mean? That she can relate to us, but she doesn't. She's from the AI department. Just keep that in mind, okay? So we need to understand who Microsoft is, well, not Microsoft, in this case, who Xbox is, and we need to understand who Bethesda is, and just how bad their products have been, right? Look at what they did with Oblivion, the remake, because that's not a remaster, that's a remake, right? Look what they did with Oblivion, right? Okay. And that gives you an idea, and that was with something that was already done. They changed everything but the story, okay? Um, when it comes to developing a new IP, they came out with Starfield, okay? And what happened with that? Right? And look at the bad shape it's still in, right? Okay. And also, it had forced pronouns. And people didn't want to sit there listening to a trans person talking about their life story. They just wanted to get the rewards and go on, and there was no way to skip it. And that was said by that guy from the UK that blew a gasket about it in the first place. Like, I mean, if I saw that there and I had bought it, I would just ask for a refund right off the bat. And Xbox has been good that way with me, right? But where I stand now with everything, I'm not buying anymore. I just got games that I enjoy, that I play, that I grew up with, on my Xbox, on my Sega Genesis, on my PS3 kind of thing. I'm good. I don't like, I'll be like if I get through all that anyway, right? So, like, I don't care about the new stuff coming out. I don't care about all this stuff that's going on because I just don't care. Because I don't care about the industry because the industry doesn't care about me. So, why should I care about it? And that's another thing you need to think about, right? Make the industry earn your money, right? Just don't give it to them just because. We live in a generation where people are buying up stuff like crazy for no reason whatsoever, right? And it's all because of easy access. And then they don't think about their wallet until all of a sudden they look at it and they go, where did the money go? I can guarantee you, if you had that money in your hand, you wouldn't be spending it the way that you are. There's a lot of reckless spending out there. So be smart, right? Okay. Look at your library games you already got and look at the games you enjoy and find new ways of enjoying them, right? That's why when I did Panic Man 10 there, what I did was I came up with a bunch of classes for you. Maybe I'll do that with Christian gaming. Okay, so that's just where I'm coming from, the way that I see things. Okay, and yeah, that's just my opinion about the whole thing. Right? Don't get excited just because they made an announcement, and other channels are like making ridiculous amount of videos about it already, as if it's right around the corner coming out. Okay. Wait, be patient. And then, don't buy into the hype. When it comes to buying a game, don't buy it. If you already got Game Pass, you're probably going to get it with Game Pass anyway, so it doesn't matter, right? I don't do Game Pass. I don't do services, right? Okay. So the thing is, if you want to buy it, wait, okay? And then see what happens. Because odds are it's not going to be a great game. They're going to pimp it to sound like it is because they got to make money because they're losing money, right? But in the end, we're at the point with the industry as a whole. Wait and see approach is the best way to do it. Okay, and that's my advice to you. Wait and see. Wait for the reviews to come out. Wait to see gameplay of it. Wait to see, go to MK Ice and Fire, subscribe to that channel, and then see, when it comes out, if it's worth your money or not. And matter of fact, I would go to that channel because what they do is they just play the whole entire game from start to finish. They don't talk or nothing. They just record it. And the person does it like 16 hours, 20 hours, however long it is. They do it in one sitting. and it's friggin' insane what they do in one sitting, right? Now, of course, with a game like this, should last you hundreds, if not thousands, of hours. Then you're looking at a ton of content, so they probably made like a playlist of it. You know what I mean? But they do everything possible in the game. Like I go to that channel, I'm just blown away by what it does, right? So I highly recommend you go to MK Ice and Fire for gameplay, okay? Because then you're not being influenced by other people's opinions and what they think, and getting hyped up and going, oh man, this sounds awesome, only to be disappointed and go, why didn't you talk about that? You know, that was important to me, right? And that's why my videos are long, and because I'm thorough, you know. So when I do reviews, that's why, okay? So that's everything I have to say about Elder Scrolls 6, or any game for that matter. Always wait and see. Go to MK Ice and Fire, subscribe to that channel, watch the games that you want to pick up, and see if it's worth your money, right? That's the best way to do it. And that's my best advice to you, right? Don't listen to other people and what they have to say, because especially people with stuff to gain from it. I know Matty Plays is really, really close and tight with Todd Howard and Bethesda and that, you know. And people like that, I'm sketchy with. You know what I mean? I just like, no, I don't buy into their hype. I don't listen to them. Same thing like with wrestling games. You got WrestleBomb, you got Kenny Bomb, you got all this other stuff going on. Don't listen to those channels. You know, they're shells. You know, they're sellouts, okay? And that's just the bottom line. They're not telling you what they really think and how they really feel, and it sounds like it, but they're not. They're just, you know, clickbaiting you so that they can get, you know, views and make money and stuff, right? And it's a shame what YouTube has turned into from what it used to be to what it is now, right? So anyway, take care, guys. Those are my thoughts on Elder Scrolls 6. Bye for now.